After 150 episodes, we realized something needed to change. We were showing up, but we weren't always giving our listeners the quick, clear value they needed. So we decided to change it. And in today's episode, we're sharing exactly what we're keeping, ditching, and trying next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Larson, and this is my biz bestie, Selena Conmackey, and we're the duo behind the 15-ish minute Business Fix podcast. Today, we're serving up real talk, marketing for small business owners, straight up with no sugarcoat. As fractional CMOs and digital wing women, we help entrepreneurs figure out what's working, what's not, and what to try next without jargon and without ego. Our new Keep, Ditch, Try format is fast, fun, and made for business owners who want to get stuff done and still have time for lunch. Because smart business does not have to be complicated, and it certainly should not be boring.
Hello, Anna Larson. Welcome to our new season 16.
I know. Can you believe we're at season 16?
It's wild, and I can't believe it. So we're trying to keep things short too. So hopefully when we talk or when we chit chat, it's not sounding like we don't want to talk to you. But look, we all know we're busy. So I want to tell Anna, hey, it's time to take a selfie because we're still keeping selfies in this new format of ours, Keep, Ditch, Try. So I just brought my coffee because that's just what I do, but we're doing a Keep, Ditch, Try selfie. So on three, Anna Larson. Okay, I couldn't say 3, 2, 1 because my mouth is open. And so here we are. We took that shot and let's jump in, Anna. What's the first thing we're talking about today?
Listen, we introed it as we rebranded our podcast. Okay. This was the 15-ish minute coffee chat, which, let's be honest, was never 15 minutes. It was closer to 45-ish. And while we always had great conversations, what we realized is that the timeline that we were giving to those conversations probably exceeded what a small business owner or entrepreneur really could take time out to listen to in one sitting. And so we wanted to rebrand to make sure that we were giving better value, right, to our listening audience, everyone. So here is the question we have today. And Selena, we're going to just start with you. All right. It's really quite simple, but when you've done something for 15 seasons, over 150 episodes, more than 5 years, why did we decide to rebrand?
So I remember it so vividly. Anna and I were attending a conference in Atlanta last year, and I was in a section and it was just talking about speaking to your audience and who is the audience. And it had been like this whole messaging really for me the whole year. And all of a sudden in my head, I thought of our podcast. And I remember as soon as I could tap Anna and not feel rude about interrupting the speaker, I was like, I think it's time we should rename our show. We hadn't come up with it really, but it was just like, we need to be better about what we're trying to do in our podcast and who we're trying to serve. We didn't even really have business in our name anyway. And so Anna and I had the conversation and we're like, yeah. And then we've been just going back and forth on it's time. It served its purpose. It did what it was supposed to do. And now it's ready to grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that when we talk about not being happy with the old format, it wasn't that it wasn't giving value or it wasn't a good format. It ran its course, right? And as the podcasting world matures and new things come out and more exciting things are possible and different styles of podcasting are being explored, we wanted to jump on that a little bit and start to do something a little bit new that we think that our listening audience is going to really love. So tell us a little bit about Keep, Ditch, Try. What even is that?
I was so excited when we were brainstorming and this idea came on the table. Me and Anna were like, this is going to be so great. And I think you guys know that old game, that one, who would you marry? Who would you kill? You know what? And so this is like where this comes, but it's in business form, right? What would we keep? What would we ditch? And what would we try? And we know that every single guest would have something to share about their industry or their service or their product in this format. they would have something to say, and we would know that we would want their answer. And it never, the second that this landed on our list of potential reworks, we knew this is what we wanted to do. That's why we decided on Keep Ditch Try. Like I said, I actually spoke to my aunt last night, and she ran a huge event back home in Hawaii. And I said to her, Auntie, we're reframing my podcast, and what do you think about this? And I said, so can I ask you a question? What would you keep, ditch, and try about the event you just hosted? Because I had about 300 attendees. And she came back and she said, this is what they would keep, this is what they would ditch. And that was easy. And it really allows you to reflect on things. And then for our listening audience, think about it. Like, sometimes you want to be like, what did they try something that we haven't, like, we were thinking of, but now we have some insight into it. And it's the 1, 2, 3s, right? 3 is always an easy way to remember some things. I don't know. I'm saying, getting excited about it, but yeah, that's where we landed on that, and why we decided it was gonna be a cool new framework for the way that we do our podcast.
One of the things I really love about it is that if you don't already know this, Keep Ditch Try is like a version of Roses and Thorns or Start, Stop, Continue, right? It's a feedback and an evaluation tool that leadership and businesses use all the time to evaluate and do like after action reviews of the things that they're trying to do and trying to perform. And so when you think about it in those terms, Keep Ditch Try becomes almost like a weekly evaluation of one topic in your business, where you get to say to yourself, do I want to keep that? Do I want to try something new? And what do I need to stop doing that I'm wasting my time on? And that's what I'm most excited about for this format, is like, it's going to give those valuable little nuggets that come in that short, quick evaluation format for business owners to just snag onto and maybe come up with their own when they're listening to the experts talk about the topics that they know so much about.
I love that you guys just got 2 very different answers. I went with the whole, like, the relationship, like marry, kill, you know what? And Anna gave you such a professional evaluation tool answer. So I'd be so curious to see. Thank goodness Anna is here, because obviously that's the more professional thing to say. But you guys know where Selena's head is. Okay, I love this. And I think, like I said, we're trying to keep things tight. And here's the thing. If the episode only leans to be 12 minutes, then it is. Because the whole point is you're going to get what you need from the conversation we're having with our guests or with ourselves. And that translates out to you. Anna, do you think we should do our rapid fire? Are we in the Keep Ditch Try zone yet?
Yes, I think we're in the Keep Ditch Try zone. All right. So essentially, when you are coming back to our podcast, the very next version that you hear of this, it will be with an actual guest. Where we'll give them one main topic that we'll have a good conversation over. And then we're going to throw in this Keep Ditch Try, where they're going to throw some rapid fire stuff at you that says, this is what I would keep, this is what I would ditch, and this is what I would try about this topic specifically. Because our topic today is rebranding our own podcast. That's what we're going to talk about in terms of keep and try.
Cool.
What's one thing you would keep?
So the thing that we're keeping about our podcast is that we want to keep it a guest interview style format. We want to bring on experts to share what they know and what their experience has been. And that's my favorite keep feature of what we're doing. How about you?
Oh, so my favorite keep feature is that we want to continue to style it in a nugget bite-sized conversational. Now, listen, we named the other one 15-ish minutes and we always went over, but this time we are dedicated to keeping it a little bit more tight and a little bit more on time, so that you really truly can sit down and eat your lunch or be checking your emails and have us on in the background and be still getting value.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yes. All right, Selena, what are you ditching?
Okay. So one of the things that we decided to get rid of is like the overwhelming intros and bios. We want to just get into the conversation with our guests, right? So that's one of the things that we decided to ditch. So we're still obviously sharing who they are and what they do, but in a smaller bite-sized way. And so I think that's like, I felt like it needed to be a long, drawn out, like Oscar, blah, blah, blah. But I realize sometimes that it's not that I don't care about the guests, but I want to be like, I'm here for the meat of the conversation. I want to know what they want to keep, ditch, and try.
Yeah.
And so I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we talked about, ditch. And I don't know if you have another ditch, because you and I both agreed that's something we wanted to get rid of.
Yeah, I do actually have another ditch. So we are ditching the monotony of what we were doing. So Selena and I have come up with a whole new branding. We've come up with a whole new kind of style, a little bit of a more fun tone, because listen, if you know us in real life, we are freaking fun people. Like fun. People want to. And so sometimes, and after 15 seasons, even though we had fun on our podcast, I think we started this almost like this monotony of the same things over and over again. And so with Keep Ditch Try, what we're ditching is that. And we are spicing it up. So be prepared for me to see things like, we're fun and you're going to like us, and just be a little bit more our own personalities on the podcast.
Yeah. I love that answer, Anna. I love that answer. All right. So I'll move us into the try. What, obviously, and I'll let you go first with this, is what are we trying? What are we trying with this thing?
So we are trying just a new format. That's really the biggest one.
Yeah,
so we don't know how this is going to play out. We're just shooting it out there and saying, let's see what hits. So could there potentially be more reformatting, more testing and cutting, maybe adding a little something here that we realized was missing? Absolutely. This is marketing 101 in play for you to all follow along and watch as we do it, right? We're testing the waters.
I love that.
How about
and
you, Selena?
I'm inviting you and I to do the last episode of this season and talk about how the try part of this went, right? For me, like you said, the new framework, but it's the Keep Ditch Try portion of this new podcast rebrand that we're doing. I love it because it's just, I don't know. I love the evaluation tool, the line of questions. It's fast and it just allows people to say what they liked about the industry that they're in. And that's just, I think that's my try, like, love about this. And I just feel like it's going to go well. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, everyone, Selena, but listen, it's already time to wrap up. Yeah. We are at 15 minutes ish right now. Yeah. So it is.
We really are in.
Yep. Yeah. Now, in case you didn't know this, Selena was the originator of this whole podcast idea way back when. We've got a whole story that we can tell someday about that hysterical experience. But Selena, as the founder of this new rebranded amazing podcast format and podcast itself, what is one thing you would leave with our listening audience today?
Is don't be scared to evolve what you've birthed. You know what I mean? You can just leave space for it to grow and evolve with the way that times are, the way that people are listening and taking in information. Don't be scared to make changes. And I think that's my one takeaway with us doing this thing, is renaming it, reformatting it, and is that we're taking our baby, Anna, to the next step. And so that's what I'm excited about. So yeah, that's my takeaway.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, so listen, everyone, we want to invite you to come follow us on Instagram at Anna and Selena. Okay, yeah. So let me go ahead and you can actually see what that is. It's not going to be a scroll. It's going to be
we're I think, like you said, we want to be fun. We are on LinkedIn, but she's there. But now I hear something else going. I'm not too sure what's happening. But look, I'll just get us to this wrapping point. Anna is trying to tell you guys, join us for fun on Instagram. There it is, at Anna and Selena. We made a bunch of reels last week and we're just excited to share them and get going on it. And we realized, like, gosh, we're so fun. Like, why have we not been doing more of this often? And yeah, that's the thing. So Anna is going to close us out. And we'll see you with our first guest on the next episode.
Yeah. So just to close this out, everyone, I just want to say, don't forget to evolve. Just that takeaway was the perfect ending to what we've done today. So don't forget to evolve. And we are so excited that you're here listening to our very first Keep Ditch Try 15-ish minute business fix podcast. And we'll see you next time. Hey, Selena, take us to the outro.
Woo! Aloha.